fresh off the controversial heels of the last episode, we are now going in a more normie direction. See, last time we had a trans porn star. This time, my friends, I thought, hey, let's make all the people that got angry at the last episode for being too strange, let's make those people happy. So I got the normiest guest of all time. I got a guy that does Reddit reading videos. He'll find a subreddit, and then he'll be like, hey, this has a bunch of content pre-done for me. I'll just read it. So a real genius of the craft. And that wasn't easy enough. There's plenty of channels that do that. But this guy was like, hey, I need more people. I can't quite hack it myself. So he got 7 of his buddies, and together they made a YouTube channel. It's called Soothouse. So here's episode 3 with Wilbur Soot. I just said his name wrong. Wilbur Soot. Tell the folks at home who you are.
I'm Wilbur Soot, or Soot if you're American, and I run Soothouse.
No, I think European or all Americans say Soot. I don't think anybody says Soot.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I'm called Soot almost always. Wilbur Soot. Like, non-ironically.
Our education system is failing. Do you remember that Trayvon Martin case? The Trayvon Martin's stupid friend went up to testify or whatever, and she couldn't fucking read cursive? Jesus.
Fuck's sake.
So anyway, Soothouse is like can I call you a comedy collective?
If you want to make it sound communist, you can. Yeah. Sure.
Comedy collective. And it's how many people?
8.
They're like the Slipknot of YouTube. They got way too many people, and nobody knows who any of them are except for Wilbur.
I'm Rihanna.
And Rihanna, yeah. Do you remember the first thing I asked you as soon as like we met? I was like, how do you guys split the money? Because I knew that would be like inner turmoil. Like, people would be like, yo, this fucker didn't even say one joke this episode, you know?
And then you sat me down over Christmas and were like, sort out the money first. Get that in writing. You don't want this to come...
Well, because you started out as friends, so naturally, once you add money to friendships, it's going to deteriorate in some way, you know?
I mean, we're still all friends.
Oh,
I think
really?
it used to be a spoken issue, but now it's just an unspoken agreement, I think.
Oh, an unspoken issue. No. There's deep-seated issues that resolves itself with a poisoning at dinner.
and a strangely written will on the last day.
Yeah, it's weird how Rihanna was mysteriously disappeared, and now we all have a little bit more money in our paychecks. Isn't that weird?
It's a business strategy, man, you know. I mean, a horrible accident. A terrible accident, mistake.
But a fortunate financial windfall for me. Oh, man. So anyways, I've noticed you only uploaded one video in the past month. Do you find it hard to complete work with so many creative geniuses at the wheel? The fuck are you doing? You got 8 people.
You heard the phrase "too many cooks."
Yeah.
No, it's because my internet service provider decided I didn't deserve internet anymore.
What, do the other 8 fucking assholes not know how to do anything?
They don't know how to edit or upload or yeah.
And you pay these people?
Yeah.
You can get day laborers that have the same amount of work ethic. Go down to the local hardware store and they're just waiting in the parking lot.
But can you imagine if Soothouse was just me? That would not take off at all. That would be the most shit show of all time.
That's true.
I haven't got natural wit, Sam. I don't even know why you got me on this podcast, honestly.
No, that Sorrow guy does it. I don't see why you can't.
Yeah, and he's funny. He's good. He's got a good sense of humor.
You only need 1. You don't need 8. All right. You and one well-paid friend. Not you and your feudal enterprise with each person getting $3 at the end of the month.
See, the funny thing is, actually, that's how it began. It was originally 3 of us.
Really?
Yeah, it was me, George, and Jack. That was the very first video. And we didn't say, oh, let's make a YouTube channel. Basically, because I'm like hella autismo, I used to just record all of our stuff and just edit together these sort of collage montages over the span of each month.
Yeah.
We'd call it the meme mashup. So there's one for every month for the past 2 years, and they were edited on my spare time, unlisted. I just put them up, and they were just videos of us playing video games and chatting shit and being horribly offensive. And one day we decided to look at some Bulgarian real estate, and I went, hey, this would probably be a good standalone video, and I made it, and I was like, I'm gonna make this public, and so I did, and I just shoved it on a random YouTube channel, and then it got like 4,000 views, and I was like, oh, I should probably fucking do more of this, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then I was like, George and Jack, let's do another one, and then everyone was like, oh, I want to come too, and I was like, yeah, let's get the whole gang. And
I don't know, I don't know about you, but I feel like with a Discord call, after you surpass 4 people, it's just people talking over each other.
Yeah,
the
noise is tough.
It does get a little bit much. If you could just teach one of those fuckers to edit, then you could do easily like 2 videos a week. Just each work on one video. You know?
I'd be out of a job though.
What do you mean?
I'm the editor, man. That's my thing, man. If I'm not editing, what am I doing? I just turn up and
you would edit
occasionally,
and then they would edit one, and then you would still have half a job. It's not like, I mean, you have the key to the fucking account. It's not like they're gonna take it from you.
I think it's more along the lines of we're not really trying to output like tons of videos at once, and I can deal with the editing. I mean, I always we have at least 1 video a week. Are you about to? Usually, it's just for.
Are you about to pull that classic saying from every YouTuber? Quality, not quantity.
Oh no, quantity. YouTube fucking loves quantity, dude. If I could do quantity, I would run away with that. Have you seen the YouTube channels that get one video a day?
Right.
They're like rolling in it. They get so much money, so much views. Yeah, I'd do that. That's what I want. That's why I need to hire an editor. I really need to hire an editor.
Yeah, people
for myself. Obviously
people
not.
Email me all the time about that, but that's like the labor of love. Is the editing. Like, I would say 80% of the funny shit that happens in a video is because of the editing. Comedic editing. What's that guy that made like Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead and stuff?
Edgar Wright.
Yeah, that guy. Like, he's like the king of comedic editing.
Someone's been watching every frame of painting recently, Sam.
And I have seen that. But that holds no influence over my opinion. I thought of it before he even made that video.
I'm a media student, Sam. We have to watch that for our curriculum, mate.
You have to watch that?
Yeah, it's part of our curriculum.
That's part of the curriculum? How much money does that fucker get? Every frame of painting. He's not getting. That teacher is doing nothing. Just sitting back and go, hey, some asshole on YouTube's made a video on this. I could just play this shit and not have to do anything. Whack off behind my desk. All right, so we did that video on what's his face? On those incels, right?
One of our best videos.
Yeah, that was pretty good. The and have you seen the like crackdown that YouTube's had on anything to do with Elliot Rodgers?
Yeah, like Monkey Jones and stuff.
Yeah, Monkey Jones got fucked on, dude. Which is
and his video, they weren't even like, they were edgy, but they weren't like,
they were making fun of a serial killer.
Yeah,
he got his entire channel. Explain to the folks at home who Elliot Rodgers is.
You want me to explain who Elliot Rodgers is?
Yeah. I feel like you identify with him the most. So
really? Yeah. You think okay? Yeah. Well, he's called the Virgin Killer.
Yeah. Not that he killed virgins.
No, he was a virgin, and he killed. And he in 2014 in Isla Vista, he's like the son of like the producer of like fucking.
Why'd you know the dates and everything? 2014.
Sam, I've got
Isla Vista.
We can cover this if you want, Sam. I'm like really into my serial killers and stuff. I find it so interesting.
Yeah.
But like spree killers and things. But 2014 Isla Vista, Elliot Rodger. He was like the son of the producer of like that Battleships film, wasn't he? I think.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe Avatar. Yeah, he was the son of the producer or something, but he had like a lot of money. He had like a BMW at like 17 and shit, you know? And he just was pissed. He was pissed because he couldn't get any coochie. So he hopped in his BMW and went and killed people. And he had like this whole video series. He made like this vlog about how angry he was. And Monkey Jones sort of ripped into that and got his channel taken down in one fell swoop. 3 strikes instantly. Yeah. He couldn't even appeal any of them.
Nah, he couldn't even appeal. And those videos, dude, were just fucking they were so perfect. I love those things where he's like, this dude was so caught up on him being, I don't know, he was like so pissed off that women weren't into him, and he had all these videos, and he was like, dude, I'm good looking, I got money, what why don't women like me? Well,
It's
women,
supreme gentleman.
yeah, women pick up on the fact that you're out of your fucking mind, for one. And two, I think if that guy would have lived a little bit longer, he would have realized he's just really into cock. Like, you could tell the way that guy talked. He was just, I think he was closeted. I think.
If he stuck around a bit longer,
yeah, he would have.
He could have seen the light.
Wrapped his head around it and be like, "Oh, I'm just really into. I just want to eat a man's ass." But he was. I don't know. I love that he's like pulled up like in the hills of fucking Hollywood or something, next to his BMW. And he's like, I don't get it. I have these $300 glasses. This is how he talks too. And I have this. Look at me. And he like backs up. And he goes, I'm fabulous. Like, dude, tell me what girl is gonna be like, oh my god, he right there. He's fabulous. What guy describes himself as fabulous?
It was also just this. It was the fact he just exuded this kind of stay away from me energy.
Yeah.
You know, like there's this one video where he's walking in the park, right? And he's like, and he comes and he's like talking to himself. He's saying like, I don't get it. Why am I the supreme gentleman, not in the eyes of these women who are off with their chads and their men? And then this like old woman's like walking along. She comes up. She's like, hey, do you want to see my dog? And he just goes, yeah, I'd love to see your dog.
You know, the way you're talking, I now really want to see an Elliot Rodgers biopic starring Keanu Reeves. Because that's what it sounded like. It sounded like fucking Keanu Reeves.
I'm breathtaking.
Like, dude.
If Keanu Reeves starred in an Elliot Rodgers biopic, that would be a box office smash hit. That would become one of like...
That guy blew up out of nowhere. Like, he had this weird not character arc, fucking career arc where he got huge in the 90s, and then The Matrix hit, and he was like in the stratosphere. And then his career just kind of like petered out a little bit, and all of a sudden he made John Wick, which is not an original movie. I feel like there's been 8 movies that have been made like that, you know?
Yeah.
You ever seen like Rolling Thunder? It's the same thing.
No, I haven't, but I know the type of film.
Yeah, like that dude, Rolling Thunder, he gets his hands stuck down in a garbage disposal in the sink, and he replaces it with a hook. It's a cool movie. Anyways, like that movie's been made before, but I feel like that movie hasn't been made in like the past decade. So like all the new kids are like, whoa, it's a revenge movie. Like, that's never been fucking made before. And they love it. I mean, it is a well-made movie, but I wouldn't think that it would. It was kind of like when Taken came out.
Yeah,
like, tell me you haven't seen 100 movies that are just like Taken.
No, it's like, well, I mean, I think it's Liam Neeson's performance that sells Taken. I don't think it's the idea. Like, there are loads of films that are so cliche,
yeah,
but like that I would argue are brilliant films. You know, like what's an example? Like even well, I mean, let's go Star Wars. Like, everyone's seen Star Wars. Everyone knows Star Wars is literally just if you can watch like a million Western films and a million like old Japanese samurai films. They're all the plot. It's just that's the plot. It's a Western samurai set in space.
Yeah.
And now Lucas is a multi-billionaire, whatever.
Super billionaire.
Super billionaire. Is that the scientific term?
Yeah, that's the financial term. When you're living paycheck to paycheck, you refer to him as a super billionaire.
I have this ongoing theory that almost everything like that's taken off recently in like, well, the 3 things I can think of that have taken off suddenly are literally to do with social media marketing disguised as accidental marketing. So like, I don't know, there must be a name for it. I don't know enough about advertising and stuff, but like, so do you remember in 2013, 2012, there was like that whole clown phenomenon?
Yeah.
People dressed up as clowns and like chased people down. It's weird that the new It movie was announced like months later, don't you think? Like,
yeah, I thought that had to do with at the same time of It coming out. I thought like the trailer came out and then the clown thing started because of how creepy it was.
That's what they say. I think it's the other way around, though. I think that they went, right, how do we PR our scary clown movie?
Right.
Let's make a real problem of scary clowns, you know?
Yeah.
And then you got Lil Nas with his Old Town Road.
Yeah.
Right. I remember I heard it from George from Soothouse. He showed it to me when it was at 20,000 views. You know, the official video is on like however many millions now.
Yeah.
He showed me it was on 20,000, and he was like singing. He told me, "Oh, it's about a man who shags his horse," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And I listened to it, and I was like, "Oh, this kind of like." I quite like this, low-key. This is quite good. And so I was like, I figured out the chords for it and looked on Ultimate Guitar, and there was no chords or anything. And I was like, oh, cool. That's a good thing. And then, for no reason, on the same day, like 30 TikTok like things came out, and a TikTok challenge came out around this song suddenly. And then somebody Lil Nas
is a paid
is now
collaboration. You know it. If you're gonna make any sort of money, you collab with TikTok.
Yeah, and it's crazy. And now you've got Keanu Reeves. I think he did that interview like a couple months ago where he said, I'm actually really lonely.
Yeah.
And then that sort of pushed him, and then loads of women were like, oh, I'll face it, you know, loads of fucking horny women on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then
I haven't found any, but yeah, I'll just act like I know what you're talking about.
and then it's like, oh, Cyberpunk have got him. Boom.
Yeah, that was so I feel like he was so shoehorned into that game.
Yeah.
He was just crammed in there.
I still want to play it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna play it. Apparently, you can be transgendered in there, you know, which I mean that's a whole lot easier than being transgendered in real life. So I might as well give it a go. You know what I mean? Test the waters a little bit, see if I like it.
The post-apocalyptic transgender movement has done a lot better than modern transgender movements, unfortunately.
Did you hear that my previous guest was a transgendered porn star, right?
I did. I saw the clip you released before you released the actual podcast.
You should have seen my fucking Discord after I released that clip. There was like a million people in the general chat just screaming about it. They're like, that's gay, and I don't like apparently I got a bunch of fucking Christ fags in my
what?
Yeah, they were like a bunch of Christian people or like super right wingers or something. They're all upset that I got a Miss Vex on here. Listen here, dude, it's just a chick, you know. There's nothing wrong with wanting a girl to put her big wiener down your throat, you know. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing gay about that.
My question is like, who gives a fuck? Like, I genuinely didn't like. I still don't understand people who are like anti-trans, like as like a, you know, an adult overtaking that they want to change gender. You know what? Yeah. Who cares? Who cares? Like I don't want to, but I don't get like, you know, it's like even less of an issue. Like I think it should be less of an issue for like right-wing Christian sort of like.
That's what I told my uncle. Like my uncle was like against gay people. I'm like, well, they're not fucking you. It's not like they're just gonna rape you or something. I don't know.
It's because they're corrupting the children. It's like, who gives a fuck?
You don't have kids. What the fuck? Like he has no angle to hate gay people.
Yeah,
there was no angle there.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, it was like when like saying gay was like the coolest thing in school. I remember if ever used the word homophobe, the response was I'm not scared of them, I just don't like them. Was always the response. And now as I've gotten older, I've been like, no, they're definitely just scared of them. Like, what other reason is there? Yeah. Like, it's just fear. It's fear. It's like, I'm looking at this man, he likes men, and I'm thinking a bit about my feelings, and I'm not very comfortable with it, you know. I don't, you know, maybe I like him a little bit, you know, so I'm gonna dislike him, you know.
No, I think what it is I just like shitting on stuff, like whatever it is. Like if I know, I've always, when my first Twitter got banned, it was actually a sigh of relief, because about that time, that's when everybody's DMs were getting leaked and like everybody was getting in trouble for shit, and like the amount of shit that I had just sitting in the DMs ready to be leaked was fucking huge. It was just on another level. And I'm very glad it happened, because like I don't care who, if I get into like a verbal argument with someone, dude, I just look at him and go, what will hurt this guy's feelings? I don't care what it is. I have no holds barred, no moral. You know, if I see a guy, if I'm getting into an argument with a dude, he's got long curls on either side of his head, yarmulke on the top of it. and he's sitting there in a verbal argument with me. At some point, I'm gonna whip out my trump card.
And then claim that you yourself.
Yeah, I mean that's your get out of trouble free card. You know,
we've had messages telling to delete your videos from our channel.
Really?
Because of your edgy humor.
Why is that? I didn't even go too hard in the videos I was in, did I?
No, I know. It was to the extent of like the person. I don't know if you know this, but the person you've had on your show has said this, and I was just.
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
man,
yeah.
It's like people say a lot of shit. Let's be honest. PewDiePie says the N word, and now we all love him again.
That's
so
just
what's the?
It's just a gamer word.
Yeah. It rolled off his tongue like an old friend, and we've all forgiven him.
Racial, it was a gamer word.
No, dude.
Oh man, no, but that I guess like the Elliot Rogers one, that video we did was I don't think I did anything bad in there.
No, there was nothing. We were ridiculing, although we have got death threats for that as well. That's a fun story, actually. I should tell you about. Not for you though. You haven't got any death threats.
No.
Yeah,
I've been fine. But the
so.
Oh wait, you gotta tell me now? Alright, go for it.
No. Oh yeah, I was gonna say is, do you remember I invited you to come on a second edition of it?
Yeah.
And then you were busy or something, I don't remember. But we ended up doing it on our own.
Well, yeah, you would do this. You're like, okay, it's 2:29 p.m. Hey, can you meet us tomorrow? I'm like, dude, my boss won't let me. I got a work schedule.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I wasn't pissed. I was just, maybe I took the piss out of you a little bit, but only because I saw you getting angry about it, and that's why I quite enjoyed it. But anyway, we made this video on because I found this forum. They all left Reddit. Reddit had enough. Reddit had enough of the incels, and so they all headed on to incels.me, I think it was called.
Yeah. Oh, they had their own website?
Yeah.
Who paid for the hosting? None of them have money.
And I was like, and I went on it, and I'll be honest with you, like I don't know if it's changed now. I haven't been on it since, but the people on there, it was like as nice as you can get with incel. Like they weren't like, not all of them were like hating women and stuff. They were all talking about ways to improve themselves and stuff. They were all discussing like, why they were calling themselves the problem. And I was thinking, oh gosh, I feel really bad going on here and like mocking the people who think that women are in the wrong.
Yeah.
And then I discovered the rage section.
Oh.
And that's where the video entirely came from. But anyway, a bit time later, I was Googling Soothouse because I'm a self-centered prick. And I sorted by new. And lo and behold, there was a forum on incels.me. And they were pissed. They were pissed, dude. Like, I'm talking death threats. I'm talking like attempts to dox us. They all thought we were like northerners. Like Scottish, which was quite funny. But yeah, it was mad. It was crazy, I thought. I'd never had that before. Like that amount of hatred for me. Even though, bear in mind, the video, I thought, we didn't mock them. Like, we had a disclaimer at the beginning saying, hey, this video isn't making fun of people that can't find, a relationship.
Why not?
We're
Get in there, dude. No, if I can mock the shit out of them. That's
you was gonna bear in mind. There's probably a lot of my viewers that can't find relationships. I don't want to,
Dude, you gotta point those people out and stomp on them. Maybe I'm just a little bit more ruthless.
You've been in this game longer than me.
Yeah. You know not as successful though. You passed me. Probably maybe being nice is part of it. Is part of generating an audience, I guess, maintaining an audience.
You also got to bear in mind that part of your draw for your audience is based primarily on the fact that you don't do what many gaming channels do. Like what I've noticed, I don't know that this is mansplaining, but what I've noticed about your channel is that like all of your like thumbnails are all like, they're almost like graphic design pieces. All of them, like they're all like they all have a theme and a color scheme and a style and things. If I didn't know who you were, I would not click a single one of them. No offense, Stu. There's nothing in there that makes me go, oh, saucy, drama, clickbait, got to click that,
Yeah.
So part of your draw is the fact that you put out these videos that are consistently of a high quality, but yet they're not pandering in any way. I think that's where we lie differently. I pander to fuck, you know.
No, like,
if there's a trend,
every once in a while, dude, I'll see, like, I'll have an idea for something, and this is the scummiest thing in the world. If you have every video that I have that's like over 1 million views, I thought of the title first, and then I made a video around it. Where it's
That's
just
how
like
you do it.
clickbait title. All right, now let's go make that video. Like like everything I did on basically Red Dead, a lot of the shit I did on like that Skyrim VR video. Like I had an idea for something. Well, the Skyrim VR one was funny because every time my video circulates outside my audience, normal people start viewing it and they don't like me. Because like that, I think it was like 10 things you can do in Skyrim VR that you like can't do in normal Skyrim. And, like one of them was I was trying to fucking abduct children from the orphanage. And so like I was leaning over them at night and like they were sleeping in their beds and I had like a knife to their throat and I'm like, wake up, wake the fuck up. And it was shit like that. It was like horrible stuff that you could only do in Skyrim VR. And people saw it and they were like, this is not child friendly. This is a family game.
Was it monetized? Was it all monetized though?
No, that one got fucking ads stripped off of it in the first 2 minutes, man. I think. But it still brought some people in. That's all that matters. You know, I was just thinking about you were talking about the incel thing. Back to that. What always cracked me up about Elliot Rogers is by the way, you know his last name is just Roger, Elliot Roger.
Oh, I did not know that. No, is that?
You have to throw an S on it or else you sound like an idiot talking. Elliot Rogers, the thing about him is all these incels like on that board, I guarantee you, if you could just get like a mugshot of each and every one of these people and just lay them all on top of each other and cut the transparency down, you know, like image stack, they would all on average look like Jabba the Hutt. Like I
thought you were gonna say Elliot Roger then.
No, not Elliot Roger. That's the thing, is they're all looking up to that guy like he's their Superman because he's the only incel in history that has money. That guy had these cheekbones chiseled by the gods themselves. You know, he was living in a nice place. He had it all. I mean, he was fabulous.
He was quite a good looking lad.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with him. Except for
apart from his creepy gait,
fucking insane
way of speaking.
Yeah.
And
he was I like that's what I don't get is like the incels are like, oh, he's like the best of us. No, he was an outlier. He was he just didn't make it because he was insane. He had everything else. You guys are not only insane, but you're also ugly as shit. It's the worst of both worlds. It's really they want to all have like this 50 Shades of Grey relationship, you know. But if you read 50 Shades of Grey, you know, because I'm a fan of fine literature, I've read it, and if you read that, you realize that there's one minor thing that the reason why this guy is able to have these sex slaves. He's like a fucking billionaire and he's hot and he's got a giant cock. All those three things that changes things. You can get anybody at that point. It's like, hey, I got a huge dick, I got a lot of expendable income, and I'm also pretty easy on the eyes. I don't have any of those things, by the way. I still got married. You got to hit them early. You got to hit them when they're in 7th grade. That's what. Not like if you're 30 and then. Don't go after a 7th grader when you're 30. I'm saying I was in 7th grade. I saw what my dad looked like, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that's why I got coming for me. Better get him early." So I tracked down my wife. I knew what was coming. This hairline was creeping around the corner a couple of years.
How long do you think I've got left on my hairline? Would you predict?
I don't know, dude. I've never seen your hairline.
You never seen my forehead?
For those of you that don't know what Wilbur Soot looks like, imagine. Okay, ready? Here, on. I'm gonna explain what you have on right now.
Okay, go on.
Okay, plaid.
That's gonna be a tough one. That's gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna say now.
No, it's not. But you wear the same thing every day. Plaid, button-up, long-sleeve shirt, like a lumberjack shirt. Is that right?
No.
Okay. Then it's got to be one of those long sleeves.
Do it again.
It's got to be one of those long-sleeve shirts with the 3 buttons going up to the collar. I don't know what those are called. It's basically what lumberjacks
polo?
wear underneath their underneath their.
Well, you only got one part of the button-up bit wrong.
Okay, all right, and then
It's not plaid.
All right, and then you see, and then he's got his astute IQ raising glasses on, and then
I don't.
he's
I
got
don't wear my glasses.
yes, you do, and then don't fucking lie to me. I got Mr. FBI man looking at you through the webcam, and then and then he's got one of those knit caps just on the back of his head, with his little British curls, brown curls sticking out the front, looking like a fucking Keebler elf. Skinny jeans and a pair of some sort of leather boot. 2010 hipster. Right. That's what he is.
You got most of that right.
And
yeah.
within 8 feet of you is an acoustic guitar.
It's within
you. I know you. Right then, you just looked at it, didn't you? You just fucking looked at it.
No, but when you said within 8 feet, I turned and looked at it.
You turned and stroked its long, slender neck.
It's within 1 foot.
You motherfucker! I knew it.
Oh God, the acoustic guitar. It's just people hate you, dude. Like it's I know it's like online. It's like a thing of you always gotta hate people that play acoustic guitars kind of thing.
Yeah.
It translates in real life more than you'd think. If you think that I play the acoustic guitar because I want to make people like me, I'm going the wrong way at it apparently because it does not work.
The only thing worse than
play
an
it because I'm a
acoustic
fucking
guitar,
addict.
the only thing worse than that is people that play the ukulele. Those are the only things. Are you eating?
Sorry. Yeah, I was just having a bit of chocolate.
Dude, I was last episode. Miss Vex was I got her section of the audio. I couldn't hear it through Discord, but her section of the audio, she was like fucking chomping on something halfway through it, and like she was wrinkling the paper in the mic. So I had to like edit her side like the entire time because she was just sitting there. I think she just got like a plastic wrapper and was just going into the mic. I had to edit that shit out. Yeah. So you got that second channel, right? The it's just called Wilbur Soot.
Yeah, that's my main channel. Well, my personal channel, yeah.
Your personal main channel. I was about to say it's not your main channel because it's got 1/10 of the subs as your other channel.
Well, I've got two personal channels. I've got Wilbur Soot and Wilbur Soot Live, which is my gaming one.
Oh, you have a gaming channel?
I've got a funny story about this if you want as well.
Okay.
If we want to talk about
are we
like
finna
clickbait
collab?
and we can if you want. Yeah, man, that'd be great.
In
fact, I've invited you for DayZ.
Oh, really? Hey, I'm playing DayZ right now, actually.
Oh.
Not like right now. We're doing the podcast now, but hey, yeah, we should hop on DayZ.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
But what was it? Yeah, so I made this channel because there was do you know Jay Schlatt, YouTuber?
No.
You will do. I guarantee you he's going to be the next like big thing. Like he's going to be the next big gaming YouTuber. And I spotted RT Games, so you got to give me a bit of credit.
Yeah.
And I can see him. He's on the way up. I mean, he played in Minecraft Monday the other day. Like Keemstar's got him on his radar, so that's anyway.
Yeah.
I do a lot of videos with him, and I did this little series with him, and I was like, I'm just gonna put this up on a channel. So I just literally just went Wilbur Live. There we go. Brilliant name. Done. Hit go. And then I just quickly I got my mate because obviously I'm on an editing course. I have a few mates who are editors. I just said to them, look, I'm just gonna send you all this VOD. Just cut it down into like 4 10-minute videos and send them back to me, and I'll give you like 100 quid or whatever. And he went, yeah, sure. And he gave them back to me. And I uploaded them, and I just titled them like 5x5 challenge in Minecraft, whoa, and then put a picture of me looking shocked and a Minecraft block, whatever.
Yeah.
I left the channel, didn't look at it at all, just didn't touch it, didn't plug it, just left it there. It's been like about 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, it had 300,000 views and 20,000 subscribers.
God damn.
No plugging it at all. It's mental. Like if you just title shit, especially with the whole, I did time it with the whole Minecraft booming thing.
Yeah.
But like, it's all about your titles, dude, and your thumbnail. It's like, I know that's like a cliche of YouTube, but it's like changed. Titles and thumbnails used to be like, they have to be concise, they have to be part of a series so that people will click more, and they have to have a thumbnail which differentiates it from the pack. That's not the case anymore. The thumbnail needs to be shocked face with a very bright background with contrasting colours, and the title needs to split into 3 parts. You need to have a shouty bit at the beginning. So in my case, that was 5x5 challenge.
Okay.
A second bit, which is what you're doing in Minecraft, and then a third bit, which is like, if you can have it at 2 bits, that's great as well. But it's a formula. It's a bloody formula, and it works. And I feel like I'm talking a fucking. I'm talking like a get big on YouTube.
Yeah,
three easy steps.
Yeah, with this fucking dude, you need to cut this shit out though, because I don't want people. You're just raising competition for us, Yeah. Okay, now for the last part of what Wilbur Soot was talking about, you do like the thumbnail, and then you do the title, like you said, and then you swallow a cyanide pill. That's the third part.
And you submit to the machine,
and then you'll be the biggest YouTuber. There we go. I took care of it. I got rid of all the future competition. All right. No, what I was gonna say was you said that Schlatsky guy or whatever his name is, right? What's his name?
Yeah, Schlatt.
You said he's on Keemstar's radar. Well, I think I fucked up any and all possibilities of talking to Keemstar unless he doesn't remember this. But it was during that whole like Rhino Crunch. Do you know him?
Yeah. I know of him. Didn't he like do something shady and then disappear into the night?
Well, what's funny about him was he started trying to like push Christian shit on his viewers.
Oh yeah, no, that's him. Yeah.
And he was huge. He was one of the first Fortnite people. And then he was just like at the end of every video he'd do like Bible study, it was funny because like an actual good pastor takes time to find like metaphors within a passage. And I don't think Rhino had the intellect to do that. Because I think he would just like thumb through the Bible and open it up and be like, right here it says, thou shalt not throw a stone at thy neighbor's wife. And I think that's important because, stones are heavy. And by God, they hurt when they hit the neighbor's wife in the face. And he would talk for like 5 minutes. He would just keep going on about why it wasn't a good idea to stone some bitch. And like it was like the worst Bible study of all time. I would watch every one of his videos just to skip to the end so I could watch the sermon part because it cracked me up. That was the highest form of comedy I have ever seen. It was so great. And anyways, so he there was some whole like rape allegation thing, right? And I was
from a Christian? No.
Yeah, right? Jesus. And I was friends with Sir Winter. Still am, by the way, Sir Winter. And
yeah, I know Sir Winter.
Yeah, I was in his server, and for some reason, Keemstar, it was either Winter, one of Winter's friends or something, had information on Rhino Crunch or something. Keem was really into Rust at the time, and Winter's a real big Rust guy. So Keemstar came into his server, and I had weaseled my way in. This is my thing. What I do is I join another YouTuber's server, and then I sit there and like bitch and moan and complain until I get access to like admin rooms, right? and then I fuck with them as much as possible, and especially if they have text to speech enabled, because then what I can do is change my name to like whatever that YouTuber is, and then do a text to speech thing about like I don't know, something fucked up. Like eugenics.
Yeah.
Like something about eugenics, and then it'll say like in general chat, it'll do a text to speech thing where it'll be like Wilbur Soot endorses eugenics. And you'll be like, what the fuck? Because nobody turns off text to speech because nobody uses it, Anyway, so I had access to one of these rooms, and I saw Keemstar was in there, and then that other guy that doesn't like me, he's another Rust guy. And Vertigo Gaming was in there. And I had never met either of them. But something tells me that this might have been the turning point where he doesn't like me. Because I came in there, and all I said was, "What's going on, mine?" And then they just...
What the fuck?
They just went quiet, and they left the room. They never said hi or anything. It was just, they just left the room. And I'm sure after they left, they were like, who the fuck was that? And then, then I was never spoken to ever again. So anyways, point is that I feel like any possible exposure gotten through Keemstar, because you got to think about this like a content creator. You're only here to use people, That's fake friendships. That's all this is. And
sure thing.
Yeah, my ability to use Keemstar is over with. Unless I end up fucking raping a couple hookers or something, I'm sure I'll get on a show then. You know what I mean?
Keemstar's been going after people in my community recently. Actually, he's been what about I'm Alex?
Yeah, the guy with the Hitler haircut. He's got like the like I thought I had a comb over. That motherfucker's got the combest over of all time.
Yeah, I'm not too much a fan of his hair, but he's a nice guy, Mr. Alex. Also,
you're not a fan of it. Do you know
well.
how hard it is to get hair like that? I'm absolutely a fan of it. That dude put effort into having that comb over.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough. But yeah. So I'm Alex. Do you know about the whole Slazo allegations and things?
No, I don't know who Slazo is. I've heard the name. I don't know who he is, but.
Yeah, Slazo's a Reddit reading channel. And I should probably I'm the reason I feel like I can talk about this because I was also on the end of this issue because you'll see. So
because he's also a Reddit reading channel.
Yeah, but I jumped the gun in a way, right?
Yeah.
So Slazo, he's a Reddit reading channel and he's like 19. He's like a kid. He was like 17 when he started his channel.
Yeah.
I think he's like literally when he got big, he was like 17, right?
But he's 19 now.
I think he's like 18 now, actually.
Okay.
But
so he's fuckable. What are you saying?
Dude, I would.
If he consented.
Michael, if you're watching this.
Is what I'm saying.
But anyway, yeah, if he consented, well, basically
what's the
one
fun
of
in
his...
That? All right, carry on.
One of his ex-girlfriends came out on Twitter with a big old twit longer, basically describing how Slazo had, like, raped her. Had touched her inappropriately, constantly had like driven her to like these horrible lengths, despite the fact she was only 14 and had never had a boyfriend before, right? And these allegations were like damning. She had the receipts, she had the screenshots and everything, right?
She had the rape receipts?
Well, she had all the Discord screenshots. She had Discord screenshots of Slazo going, "Oh, it's rape time," and like these proper, like, literally, and that's word for word what he said.
Wait, it's rape time?
Yeah, it's rape time.
My.
And then she like respond, and then her in the Discord is like going no and things, It's like, and I read these and I was shocked because I worked with Slazo. I mean, I'm his outro music in a lot of his videos. I sung his little theme song, right?
Yeah.
So I've worked with Slazo a lot, and I see these allegations, and I see all these big YouTubers like King Annie, I'm Alex, Quite, and stuff, and Weast and things, all jumping on this and all being like, "Oh, it's okay. Oh, he's an awful man. Don't worry. He won't be able to do this again." So I just come and I put a message saying, "Thank you for shedding light on all this. Just know that we're all here and we all support you." Right? And that's all. I just left it at that. That's all I said. I didn't try and attack Slazo or anything because I was just like, it's not about him. It's about her. And yes, thinking back on it now, I really should have just messaged Slazo first. I have the capacity to. I have him on Twitter. I can DM him.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I decided to publicly, and that was my mistake. That was the issue, right? And you can probably agree. I was a bit stupid there. I should have taken a step back and asked Slazo, like, what's this about, instead of publicly going on and essentially damning him, right, for what he did. A month passes and Slazo comes out with a video where he essentially says how she'd lied. And he says how, yes, he was a bit of a bad boyfriend, but he never raped her. And he has proof that he never raped her. And he describes how she basically lied about all this. And suddenly, it's all flipped on its head. Like, oh shit, Slazo's not a bad guy. He's not cancelled anymore. He's back, but the damage has been done. Slazo's no longer gaining subs. He went down from almost having 900k to he now has like just under 700k, I think, or something stupid like that. And he's gained back a bit of his subs, but it's just not increasing anymore because the algorithm's just saying that he's dropped and they're not going to plug him anymore.
Yeah.
So I deleted my response to Shay because I left it for a bit because I wanted to see what Shay had to say in case Shay then comes out with like, I don't know, what would Trump Slazo's response? I don't know, like a video of like, so if she comes out with a trumping response, I wasn't gonna like come out and like say anything too big, but I deleted my thing. I apologized and I just left it and I said, right, I'm not getting involved in this, not me anymore. Here's where the issue arises though. I'm Alex, King Annie and Weast, all those people have just have stuck with their guns, which is fair enough to them. If they know something I don't, fair enough. But they've stuck to their guns. And now all these screenshots are coming out of like them discussing how they're going to release Shay's pictures and like how they're going to stop Slazo and things. And it's, I don't know, man. I'm not going to make another statement on it, but it seems really shady. And Keemstar's now just bullying them. Keemstar is going ham on them, and they're refusing to comment. And all they're saying is, all that they're like saying about it is, you know, oh, we're not going to associate with Slazo anymore. Huh. And I'm just here like, I don't know what to think anymore.
This is why I don't talk to any other YouTubers, man. They're fickle beasts. They, you know, they're... see, if that isn't a great example of the only using people for I guess your career, your YouTube career.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Like, they are just trampling that dude's life.
Yeah,
for the exposure of it all, you know.
Yeah, but like I'm reserving my judgment because, like I said, I don't know Slazo personally, and I definitely don't know his ex-girlfriend personally.
Yeah.
But apparently King Annie and I'm Alex and stuff do. So I'm not getting involved. I'm distancing myself from this whole thing. I shouldn't have got involved in the first place. It was stupid. I'm distancing myself, you know. Keemstar's on the fucking warpath right now. He brought back his baited podcast just to shit on I'm Alex for an hour and a half.
All right, I got a thing though, a little gripe about I guess not technically what you did, but I guess technically about what you did. The idea of doing the official like condolences, apology, hearts and thoughts and prayers and all that shit. It just seems so whack to me. Like, why the fuck would anybody think negatively of somebody for not doing a public, like whenever the fucking like a school is shot up in America, everybody's just like, Mike Pence hasn't done a public thing about it yet, talking shit about the gun carriers. I'm like, I don't fucking care like what he has to say.
Yeah.
At all.
No, you're right.
Or they're like, very heartwarming on Twitter. Beyonce sent out her thoughts and prayers to the victims of Columbine. That's fucking years before time.
Great.
But, you know,
You've
it's like...
stopped all school shootings. It's cured. You fixed the issue, Beyonce.
And I'm like, thank fucking God Beyonce's here. Beyonce has given her thoughts and prayers. I would actually want to hear it more in the news if Beyonce was just like, haha, fuck you. Like, she's like, shits on him. That's what you should have done with that whole Slazo thing. Like, message her, like, done a public tweet at her, be like, yeah, what do you do? Like, in detail. Can you unzips pants? So tell us exactly what he did. Can we get into the nitty gritty? Like, fuck her. Who gives a shit? I don't know who the fuck she is. Does she make videos? No.
I don't think so.
Is he being brought up on charges? No.
No, that's the thing. Yeah, it's like if he's fucking guilty, fucking call the police. You know.
Yeah, I really need to play on the schoolyard some more. I don't know the goings-ons of, because I didn't know like Slazo. I had saw something about his name popping up recently, so I thought things were, you know, when people's names are popping up, you're like, oh, things are going good for him. I was like, oh, his channel's booming or something. I'm seeing a lot of Slazo in the scrolling. Apparently, it's not good. Yeah.
Yeah. Poor guy though. Apparently, his statement, he's getting himself fixed up.
What's
Should
weird
we move
though
on
is
from rape allegations?
Well, I was actually gonna bring him more into the fold. I was gonna say, like, if I ever get on Keemstar, I pray it's not for something just stupid and minor. Like, I want Keemstar to cover it as in he's like not the biggest news source covering it. I want it to be national news. I want it to be something big, where it's like the YouTuber suspected of murdering 13 women, and it's like, I want it to be something big. I don't want it to be like, he DM'd this person, and then they said that they did this, and then it turns out he's lying. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be something like, holy shit, he's not the man we thought he was. I want to be wild. I want, like, have you ever seen that movie Seven?
Yeah.
People are gonna,
You want to be like, you want to leave your little calling card of each of the 7 deadly sins.
people are gonna study what I've done for years. That's what I want. I want there to
just
be
like that.
hour-long videos of people breaking it down, like the timeline, like it's the fucking.
Where did he go wrong?
Yeah, like the Wyatt Earp case. Have you ever seen? I saw this YouTube video where this guy is like reconstructing the scene of the OK Corral shootout and the scene of. Do you know about Wyatt Earp? You know who he is?
No.
He's like he was a Wild West.
Describe what he did.
He was a Wild West sheriff, and him and his brothers hunted down like this gang leader and shot him, and they had a big shootout at the OK Corral, and then later they tracked down somebody else, another part of the gang, at this oasis. Basically, it was like a watering hole out in the middle of nowhere,
Right.
and they shot him. They had a big shootout there, and then based on like firsthand accounts taken later of what happened, this guy's like, he's out at this watering hole in the middle of fucking nowhere, and he is reconstructing where everybody was standing, and he's like, this person said that they shot this person's horse, which isn't it is factual because we used it was a metal detector to find horseshoes and nails and stuff from where the horse died, and then its body was just left there. And like, I'm like, dude, you're reconstructing an event that happened like 150 years ago. Jesus Christ.
Was it a big deal, or was it just like, a sheriff just doing his job?
No, that's the thing is, I think at the time. All right, this is a weird thing. I got 2 stories here. Remind me to tell you about John Wilkes Booth. But
Okay. I know who he is.
We look at these things as we look back in time and go, oh, yeah, OK Corral, it was Wyatt Earp. He went ham, egg, and cheese on some people. And what it turns out was at the time, the gang leader, I think his name was like Wild Bill or something. No, it wasn't Wild Bill. It was Bill Curly or something. I don't know. Anyways, Curly Bill. I don't know. I keep like looking at the camera like, is this it? I don't know. I don't know what his fucking name is. Anyways, at the time, that guy was like a cool guy in town. He ran a gang. Everybody knew he was kind of a bad dude, but he was also like, he was kind of like well respected,
Yeah.
And he would like buy people drinks at the saloon. He would be like, this round's on me. So everybody in town kind of liked him, but they were scared of him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then from everybody's public opinion, it was just one day the sheriff grabbed his brothers, deputized them, and an hour later they just went on a shooting rampage, killing these people. And so they're like, holy fuck! Like, it was like this story of law turned bad in the West. And that's how it stayed for like 30 years until Wyatt Earp was on his deathbed in like 1910 or something. I don't know. I'm butchering the shit out of this, by the way. People are going to look up the wiki and they're going to be like, actually, Sam, it's fucking this, and this. Anyway, so he's on his deathbed, Wyatt Earp is, and nobody had really asked him. Nobody had ever asked him his side of the story. But this journalist finds him like on his deathbed, and he's like, hey, can you tell us your side of the story? He's like, oh, sure. And so he tells his side of the story, which gets published into a best-selling book, and it like turns the tides. He's like, apparently they weren't in the wrong. They were in the right, and he deputized because like that, in order to like wrangle this criminal gang from the town, he deputized his brothers. One of his brothers got shot by the gang, is what it was, and then you've heard of Doc Holliday before. He was part of the gang and everything, and it was pretty cool story. But same thing happened with John Wilkes Booth, the dude that shot Lincoln, because everybody looks back on it like, oh, John Wilkes Booth, he's just the guy that shot Lincoln, right? Well, at the time, John Wilkes Booth was the most photographed man of that year was Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, I thought it was John Wilkes Booth, and I was like, what?
The second most photographed man was John Wilkes Booth.
Why?
Because he was a huge actor. He was like the actor of the year. He was like in all these plays. He was a huge celebrity. Everybody knew him. And so
But he was also an anti-reparationist or something or whatever.
Yeah, he was against the abolitionist movement, I think is what it was. He liked slavery, and so he shot Lincoln, jumped off the balcony, and broke his leg, and then ran off. And everybody's like, "Hey, John Wilkes Booth just broke his leg and ran off." And, and there was a loud bang. And like thinking about it now, you're just like, "Oh, he was just an assassin." But like that would be like fucking Elon Musk shooting Trump in the head. Like, that's so funny. Like from today's stand, that's like Dwayne the Rock Johnson just coming up behind Trump and snapping his neck. Like that's so fucking wild. And no one talks about how like that weird dynamic that it was like this famous dude that killed the other famous dude. That's so fucking wild to me. I watched this video, and you think that happened so long ago. I watched this video of this. It was a TV show called I have a secret. It was the name of it, and it was like in the 50s, right? And they and what it is you bring up a guy, and then these other people they try to guess like 20 questions what your secret is, and they bring up this dude that is older than time itself. This dude, they had like people holding him under his armpits, and he was like, oh, he looked like the old wizard guy from Adventure Time. He gets dragged up there, and they sit him down, and he's like, they say they try to ask his question or whatever. The point is that what it turned out was he was in Ford's Theater the day that Abe Lincoln got shot, but he was like 9 years old.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he was like 9 years old, and that's so fucking wild to me that I saw on YouTube. By the way, on YouTube, I saw a video of a guy that was on a TV show in the 50s that was alive when Abe Lincoln was shot, and saw it firsthand account. Fucking saw this man get shot, and everybody was like, "Well, what'd you do? Like, was everybody chasing down John Wilkes Booth?" He's like, "No, you got to think about it in the time that it happened. We heard a loud noise. We look up, and we see a man jump off a balcony and break his leg. Everybody's like concerned about the man with the broken leg. You know, nobody knows that Abe Lincoln got his fucking head blown off. Everybody's like, oh, that guy broke his leg. What's wrong with it? Like, everybody was concerned about Booth, not with, you know, because it's not like, it'd be different if people were concerned about Oswald after JFK got shot in the head, because everybody, JFK was front and center. Everybody saw his head blow up. Jesus Christ. Have you seen Jackie's ass when she fucking leans over and tries to like scoop up his brains? Dude, that thickest first lady we've had.
Fucking hell.
The thickest first lady. Her ass was fucking immaculate. Just saying. As a patriot, that's all I'm saying.
As an American.
As an American, that first lady was looking pretty good.
Do you know the names of the other two presidents that got assassinated?
The other two.
There were four.
There's four?
That's one of my things. I love American
McKinley.
presidents. That's like one of my. McKinley was one, yes.
And
the other one.
Hold on. McKinley, Lincoln, JFK.
He's got a great name. Everyone's favorite lasagna loving cat.
Garfield?
Yeah.
Did Garfield get beaned? How did he get killed?
Yeah. I think he was at a railroad. He was at a railway. James A. Garfield. I can tell you right here.
Jamie, pull up Garfield's fucking assassination video or something. I don't know. That guy was around like
what, from 1881?
Yeah, from 1881. Pull up the Woodburn sketch.
Yeah, he was shot at a railroad. Just for, I don't know why. I think he was just shot. Just, you know. That always seems to be the case, doesn't it? In like 19th century, like serial killers and like assassinations. It's always just like, why were they shot? Guy had a gun.
Yeah.
You know? He had a gun and he was just like, oh,
fuck America, that's why.
Yeah.
Everybody had guns. So where was he shot? He was just on the railroad?
Yeah, he was just on a platform waiting to get his train.
He didn't have Secret Service or anything?
It was 1881, mate.
What? He just commute to work, like to the White House? Like
I don't know where he was going.
I bet you after him is when they decided, you know. Okay, wait. First it was Lincoln, then Garfield. 20 years later, they were probably like, we really need to tighten up security. We can't just have these guys drive themselves into the office every day. We gotta have them surrounded.
Here we go. So he was shot by Charles Guteau, who was a disgruntled office seeker, is how he's described. And he said he concealed himself by the ladies' waiting room at the 6th Street station of Baltimore on Pontomac Road, from where Garfield was scheduled to depart. Most of Garfield's cabinet were accompanying him for part of the way. Blaine, who was to remain in Washington, came to the station to see him off. The two men were deep in conversation and did not notice Guteau before he took out his revolver and shot Garfield twice, once in the back and once in the arm. He attempted to leave the station but was quickly apprehended.
You know, I think that's the birth of people's distrust of transgendered people. Did you notice how easily he hid himself next to the woman's bathroom?
No, waiting room, not bathroom.
Oh, there's a women's waiting room?
Yes, where they waited for their train. The women waited.
They separate them?
Yeah, gender segregation, man.
God damn. I don't want to see no women on this fucking train platform. This is for men only.
They do that in Japan, don't they? They have like men-only carriages.
Well, that's because women get raped all the time there.
Yeah.
Like if you're a woman on a train, like you get finger blasted on your way to work. Like that's just something that happens. It's a really weird culture over there. You know, people always sit there and look at Japan like that's what a post-industrial country. It's at an accelerated rate. You know what I mean? Because it's an island. It's got limited population. They've used up all their natural resources. They're finished. You know what I mean? Like they had their boom, and they've plateaued, but that's what America's going to be. Is what people suspect. Like that's a small scale version of what's in our future.
I mean, let's be honest though. If I'm okay, I'll just put yourself in these shoes for me, Sam. Right? You're a young girl. You're about 17, 18 years old, right?
Okay.
And you're on the way to school.
Yeah.
Okay. And for some reason, your school's making you wear these little skirts and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And you want to get on the train, right? But obviously, you're in the middle of Tokyo, right? It's a huge population and quite a small city, right? In fact, it's one of the biggest populations, right? The trains are going to be packed no matter what time you get on.
Yeah.
Right? You're probably safe, even if you're not going to get, even if the people you're being shoved into the train with aren't molesters. I don't want to be rubbed up against some businessman, you know, even if they're not going to like touch me, even if they're just going to be there. I don't want to be shoved in this tiny sardine can, literally forced in by platform attendants.
Yeah, have you seen that? I love it when they're just drop kicking people into the just pushing on
like
them and let the doors
at
close.
least be there with someone, you know, of your own gender.
Yeah.
You know, your own sex.
Yeah, I totally understand what you're talking about, because all I want to do is get shoved into a train car with a bunch of 30-year-old gamers, you know, just all of us rubbing up on each other. Why can't I get in the one with the schoolgirls? Fuck off. That's what I want. Jesus.
Oh, I want the gamer carriage.
The gamer carriage?
I want the gamer carriage, yeah. Why don't they segregate it for gamers, dude?
Right? You know,
have a gamer carriage. Have a women's carriage, men's carriage, and the gamer carriage.
Yeah, and they're sitting there making such a fuss over these new census questions in America about like what ethnicity are you, or sexual orientation or some shit is what they're trying to add, and they say it's like a First Amendment violation. But
yeah,
I would be okay with them adding a gamer thing. What ethnicity are you? Gamer. Gamer.
Put your shades on, as you say.
Yeah.
You put your pixelated like shades. You know,
don't
like
have
the
to
ones you can get
answer
from like
anything
novelty
else.
shops.
Like once you answer the gamer thing, like you don't have to fill out income or anything else. It's like
yeah,
you're a protected class right there with endangered species.
Married, no. Sexually active, yes. You know, it's all ticked.
Yeah.
Gender is also assumed instantly.
Yeah, no, you filled out gamer. We know what gender is. No need to fill that out. Save the ink, you know.
I'm happy to keep going. My Duolingo is shouting at me, but I can still keep going.
Your what is?
My Duolingo is shouting at me.
The fuck is that?
Duolingo. The app.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
It's a language learning app. It's with the one with the green bird.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Green
before.
owl.
Dude, I'm so fucking out of the loop.
You're such a fucking boomer, dude. How have you not seen that?
Yeah, and you sit there and your fucking channel, all you do is make videos on like Reddit and stuff. and it's always like beans and shoes and beans in weird places, and I'm like, people use that thing for anything other than fucking porn? Like, that's the only. I got on Reddit and I was like, I'll follow all these communities because this is like, it was around the time that I started talking to you. I was like, this Soothouse guys, they really open my eyes to the wonderful world of Reddit. And then I got on there, I was like, well, fuck all that gaming shit, dude. What about these titty subreddits and shit like that? Like, there's all sorts of porn on there. I'm not.
Yeah, who watches GIFs though? Huh? Do you actually watch GIFs and pictures for your porn usage?
Dude,
Sam?
I don't discriminate, I'm an even.
You have a VR
guy.
Headset, Sam.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, but it's like,
should we trade porn folders? VR porn.
Come on, I don't want to make you puke here on the podcast, but no, it's like, like once you discovered movies, you didn't just throw away your camera, like just because you have one I ingest all mediums of naked women. Okay.
Yeah.
If there's an oil painting or a fucking braille. A braille description
Morse code
of nipples,
illustration.
Yeah, a Morse code description of someone's asshole. Then I'll listen to it. I don't give a shit. VR porn, regular videos. Spectrograph, laser disc. My collection of laser discs is pretty big. I got a couple lithographs. Shit. Yeah, my porn folder is diversified. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Well, good, man. I'm proud of you, Sam.
Yeah.
I'm proud that you've. Honestly, I don't think I have. Aside from VR porn, which I had for a while, I don't have a porn folder. I've never had a porn folder. I guess I'm just from that. I'm that age. I'm that age different. I'm like 6 years younger than you.
Yeah.
And that's like the age difference there.
I know that a porn folder is stupid because what I do is I just save stuff, put it in there, and I never open it again. I'm always on the quest for new porn. There was
you're like, you're squirreling it away.
Yeah, like I'm like, what if like Al Gore gets killed and no one knows how to keep up the internet, and and so I just have it squirreled away. And then I was thinking about it. You were talking about VR porn. I don't know. I can't wrap my head around that. I'm always afraid I'm going to be in the middle of whacking off in another world and someone's going to walk in on me.
What, like, yeah. No, I mean.
And I won't be able to hear it. I'm going to be fully into another. Abby's going to have to come over there and, like, tap me on my shoulder while I'm whacking off.
It can't be a good view either from outside that headset.
Oh, no.
Because it's like, you have to, like, push your neck downwards.
Yeah.
So you're, like, in this uncomfortable laying flat.
Now that would change the dynamic of my marriage forever and always. It would
wildly looking around the room like a possessed cat or something, just spinning your head around the room with his headset on.
No, I put on I remember I watched VR porn for the first time. I put it on and I was like face to face with the guy's asshole and balls. Like it was I was like, dude, this isn't what I wanted to see. This is not my preferred viewing angle, to be honest. But what the hell was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the whole porn thing. Like, have you ever seen Norm Macdonald's podcast?
No.
Biggest shame to ever happen in the world of entertainment was it got the rights to a show. I guess it got bought by Netflix, and his podcast was the best podcast to ever be recorded in the history of podcasts. It was fucking hilarious. Mm-hmm. And he, and the premise of it was he would have old comics on that their careers had been over. They had peaked already. And so he was hoping that they would be willing to say things that would normally ruin the career of a normal person. Like they would be willing to say some shit that normal comedians wouldn't. And, that worry about PR and stuff. And so he has a bunch of people on there, and then and they say some wild shit. And then Netflix buys the rights to a show because it does really well. And then but they know that once they start pushing out his show on Netflix, people are going to go view the podcast version and they're going to be offended because it's 2019. And so they pulled all of his episodes off of YouTube and they're fucking gone. And there's people that have them and upload them and they get like immediately taken down by Netflix. So it's just they're just gone. You can't even find it anymore, and it's the biggest shame. But one of the jokes they had on there was it was from Tom Green. Was the one reading it. Do you know who Tom Green is? He was like big in like the late 90s. He was a comedian. And like I'm gonna butcher the shit out of this. It was I never would have thought that one day I'd need a computer just to masturbate. It's just so true. Like I grew up in the age where we had the cable box, and I would go up to like the porn channel, which we didn't have access to. And so like when you didn't have access to a channel, like it just did like fucking warped fuzz, but it kind of gave you a little bit of the signal. And so you would see like this warped titty go like fucking flying across the screen. And you would sit there and just fucking whack off like, oh, I think that's a nipple, like, like as like titties go warping across the screen. And I remember we got a DSL, and we'd sit there like that was before streaming video was a thing. All you did was pictures. That changed everything, because like I no longer had to use my mind. I got to use pictures of actual females. And you would click on a picture, and it would load from the top down. And if you got to like the titties of it loading down, you got to like the titties, and you're like, I don't like those, and you had to close out of it. You wouldn't even let it finish loading. You're like, nah, gotta find a different titty. So yeah, I've been through the whole gambit of masturbation. Right now, we are in the prime time of porn, dude. You can have anything.
Can I drop a bombshell on you?
Yeah.
I think I'm pro the British porn ban. I'm all in favor of it.
Really? Why is that?
Well, this isn't going to be very funny. This isn't going to be a bit, but it's not anything gross. But essentially, the reason I just think it's bad. I think that porn has a bad effect on your mind. Not in like a long term way. Not if you're an adult. You know, me and you, we could probably, we could sit in all day and look at porn. Nothing's going to happen. We're not going to, a week later we could walk out of our house and like, reintegrate with society. It's like there's not anything weird. But like. I know for a fact that like my dad and like even my older brother and things, when their first instance of seeing porn would have been like, the creepy friend who's got a box in the woods. Yeah. That's their first, and he opens the magazine and it's like, oh, there's porn, and then they're like, what the fuck, that would be their first instance of porn. My first instance of porn was about half their age. I was like 7 on the internet, and it's just fucking full up pop-up ad of hardcore pornography.
Yeah.
I'm like, as an adult now, I would be perfectly happy with them making an opt-in system so that kids don't have to have what I had, which was at the age of 7 years old having to look at some fucking person being shat on. It's like I think that's a good thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. And
I think there is a negative thing for our age, by the way. Like I notice my when I'm like if I've been viewing a lot of porn, well, of course, like whacking off too. Like my sex life is totally different than like the best sex of my marriage is after like a fucking family vacation.
Oh yeah, no.
And then you get back to the house, and I'm like, I am fucking tearing that up. And it is like a carnal thing. Like I turn into a caveman. It is a totally different thing. But if I've been watching, some girl getting blacked by 5 dudes, then then I kind of mosey into the bed. I'm like, all right, I'm out of here later. Real no heart and soul into it, After I've been visually shamed by guys that do it for a living.
Yeah, no, I get you.
But that whole porn ban thing, I could see that being weird. I guess messing with you early on.
I could name people I know who have been like, who when they were growing up were stunted, like by the amount of porn they were able to get access to. That's probably me. Before they were like even. Now that I'm
100% serious. You ever hear like a lot of guys complain about pre-ejaculation, right?
Yeah.
I had like the opposite of that, and I found out what it was after a couple of years. What it is if you like look at porn and whack off a lot. And naturally, like if you go like whack off once, right, you're fine. But if you go to whack off second time, you need to do a little bit more forceful in order to.
Yeah.
And so like I had this fucking grip. Like karate grip, where I was yanking on my dick.
Oh, no.
Like it was a door handle in a fire building, you know, like a building burning down. I was like, ah, like just cranking on it. And so like when I went to go have sex, I was like, man, what are people so pumped up about this? The pussy doesn't feel nothing like my gorilla grip. Doesn't feel nothing. Nothing like my big muscular hand.
I assume you're also like 90% of Americans where you've also been circumcised, so you've lost like a lot of your sensitivity. Is that the case?
Yeah. Well, yeah, duh. But I'm also Jewish.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, America.
No. You think about it like this. There is, I feel like, I'm going to be one of the few people that is firmly in the center of whether or not people should be circumcised. And there's cases on both ends of the spectrum where I think naturally you're born with a certain amount of foreskin. Some people have a lot, you know, where it looks like they got one of those fucking,
I got a ton.
Yeah, where you have like
I got a ton of foreskin.
It looks like one of those wacky turtlenecks that they have on like the cover of Vogue, where it's like just way too much turtleneck. And in those people, get it trimmed back a little bit. And then there's people out there that don't have a lot of foreskin, and then they get a circumcision, and their dick looks like, you know, have you ever seen those people that like leave to go to war, and then they get burned in like a gasoline fire, and they come back and their skin's like pulled really tight, and it's like uncomfortable? Like that's what their dick ends up looking like. I'm like, Jesus, thing has a surface tension of a fucking submarine. That's fucked up. So, there's a middle ground. Like if you just have a medium amount of foreskin, just live with it. But if you got a lot, you know, and you have to, like, it looks like you're trying to pull on a pair of tube socks when you're trying to find the head of your dick, like pulling the skin all the way back, like a fire hose. I think you should get a circumcision. But I'm one of those people.
Even if you lose sensitivity,
dude, if I don't masturbate, but like, you know, once every other day, I'm fine. I can nut perfectly fine.
But you don't know. Never experienced.
Yeah, but you've never experienced the other way either. This is like the perfect thing of like, it's an impossible argument unless there's a guy that's like 25 and then gets a circumcision. But nobody's like that.
There are lots of people. I almost had to.
Really?
Yeah,
you got the turtleneck? You got the turtleneck?
No, it wasn't that. I didn't have a ton of foreskin, mate. It was an accident and emergency procedure.
Oh. Have you ever heard?
I don't think this is.
You ever heard of that dude?
Would it be bad to turn the subject away, though?
You ever heard of that dude that got his cock completely burned off with some...
What?
Yeah, there was like some weird circumcision procedure that they would do with... I think it was like electricity or something, and they would like use it to like, I guess, cauterize the penis, and they ended up fucking just cauterizing this kid's dick off. Just gone.
What the fuck?
And so the parents decided to raise him as a girl.
I do know this, yeah. And then
this was like a long time ago.
Yeah, and then when she got older, she decided he actually wanted to be a guy.
Yeah.
And then killed himself when he was like 35, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know about the last part.
Yeah, he lived his life as a girl, and then like defying all known ideas of like gender identity. When he got older, he was just like, no, I am actually a guy.
Yeah.
You know? He was like, no, I want to be a guy. And then changed back.
And then...
it has to be the worst parent awards ever. Like
that and the worst circumcision doctor, by the way. You know? If there's one thing that you shouldn't fail at... Actually, my brother has a failed circumcision. And the best part is he didn't know about it. He thought he was circumcised. I'm like, what? Do you think you were circumcised? Because like the doctor started doing it. He's like, he's bleeding too much. And so he's like sewed it up, but he like still he's just uncircumcised now, right? So, what we should do is me and my brother should whack each other off, and then we should do like a pleasure thing, like 1 through 10, like how pleasurable is this? And then we can, because we have the same dick basically, but his just has foreskin. And then we can figure out who really is more sensitive, you know? I feel like that's science that's worth doing. Anything in the name for penis science progression.
He must have been really confused by you needing like lube and stuff then.
I don't need lube.
Oh, that must hurt.
No, I'm not. How much like How tight do you think it is without the foreskin?
Well, I don't think it is tight at all. There's just no foreskin there. I'm just imagining rubbing like a dry hand up and down like the tip of my. That's so sensitive. That's so weird.
No, I don't rub the head. You out of your fucking mind?
What?
You pull the foreskin over the head like a normal person, just like yours, except for I don't have it hanging off the end. Dude, that's it. Pull up the webcam. We're pulling out our dicks right now. We're pulling out our dicks this instant.
I never thought of it that way. So it's kind of nullified the whole point of circumcision.
No, yeah,
to stop
people that are
children
circumcised, they don't
masturbating.
sit there and just fucking grind their fingers on the head of their cock like they're kneading Play-Doh. Fucking out of your mind. No,
that's what I do.
They say there is reduced sensitivity because when it's soft, you know, like your head's rubbing against your jeans or something like that all day.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I mean, I wear like what are these things called? Boxer briefs. It just holds my cock up against my. I was gonna say my thigh, but it ain't a long boy. Up against my balls. Holds my cock up against my balls, so I don't. You know, it doesn't sit there and like. People act like just walking around all day like your pants are like sandpaper on the head of your dick. I don't know. I'm just thankful I don't have to pull that shit back and clean all the dick cheese out of there.
Yeah. It's just the same as cleaning the vagina, mate.
Oh no, I don't fuck with girls that do that. I like
What you want them dischargey.
Yeah, acrid. Acrid.
Acrid.
I was like, what's like the weirdest word to describe that? If I could just take a moment and pause this podcast. I had a perfect ender set up, right? The way I record this is I record my side and then the guest records their side, and that way I can have a nice high quality audio that I can slap together and it sounds good for you guys. Well, this ending, I had an ending set up where I asked Wilbur a very controversial question, and his answer was the first controversial thing he said and the funniest thing he said all episode. And when he sent me his side of the fucking audio, he cut his answer from the end. He redacted it because he didn't want it to be on the podcast. I would like you guys to go personally thank Wilbur Soot for ruining this episode. I thought it was great. You know, you just end on a very quick, poor answer. But that motherfucker didn't have the balls to stick with what he said. And he pulled out. So you know what? You're getting this shitty ending. Sorry. Better luck next time. I'll see you on episode 4.